It was the early 17th century, and the scientific world was abuzz with the revolutionary ideas of a young Italian mathematician and astronomer by the name of Galileo Galilei. Galileo was never one to shy away from controversy, and he had long been at odds with the dominant scientific thinking of the time. But it was his work with the telescope that would ultimately cement his place in the annals of history and change the way we saw the universe forever. The story of how Galileo came to create the telescope is a fascinating one, full of twists and turns, and it all began with a chance encounter with a Dutch diplomat. In the summer of 1609, Galileo was in Venice when he heard about a new invention that was causing quite a stir in the Low Countries, a device that used lenses to magnify distant objects. Intrigued, Galileo set out to learn more about this mysterious contraption. After some digging, Galileo learned that the device was called a telescope, and it had been invented by a Dutch optician named Hans Lippershey. Lippershey had been inspired by the eyeglasses that were so popular in Italy at the time, and he had come up with the idea of using lenses to magnify objects that were far away. Galileo was immediately captivated by the possibilities of the telescope, and he set to work building his own version of the device. Using his expertise in mathematics and optics, Galileo was able to improve upon Lippershey's design, creating a telescope that was much more powerful than the original. With his new telescope in hand, Galileo set his sights on the heavens above. He pointed his telescope at the night sky, and what he saw took his breath away, a whole new world of celestial wonders that had never been seen before. Galileo discovered that there were countless stars in the sky, far more than anyone had ever imagined. He also saw that the moon was not a smooth, perfect sphere, as had been believed, but was instead pockmarked with craters and mountains. And most incredibly of all, he saw that there were 4 small moons orbiting the planet Jupiter, a discovery that completely upended the traditional view of the universe as a place with just 6 planets. As word of Galileo's discovery spread, he became the talk of the scientific community. His revolutionary ideas were met with both enthusiasm and skepticism, and he faced fierce opposition from some quarters who saw his work as a threat to their long-held beliefs. But Galileo was undeterred, and he continued to use his telescope to make even more groundbreaking discoveries. He observed that Venus went through phases, just like the moon, which proved that it was orbiting the sun, not the Earth. He also found that the Milky Way was made up of countless individual stars, and that the sun had sunspots, which proved that it was not a perfect, divine object. Galileo's work with the telescope was a turning point in the history of science, and it paved the way for many of the great astronomical discoveries of the modern age. Today, Galileo is remembered as a pioneer and a hero of science, and his legacy lives on in the countless telescopes that continue to reveal the mysteries of the universe to us.